What's up, YouTube Revolution? ZombfectedGaming 349 at your fingertips. Just before we jump right on into this Far Cry 6 topic, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like and ding that bell icon really hard so I can always stay within fast reach of your fingertips when new uploads arrive on my Watch Dogs franchise videos or even Far Cry 6. Alright, so it's been 9 to almost 10 months since the announcement of Far Cry 6 at the Ubisoft Forward event during July last year in 2020, and we haven't gotten any sort of gameplay since then. And back then, Far Cry 6 was originally said to release in February 2021, and we are long past that now, but there is a possibility that we will see Far Cry 6's gameplay at the upcoming Ubisoft Forward in June coming up during E3. There is a 90% chance we will see it there, since nothing is confirmed yet about Far Cry 6 being there. Ubisoft didn't say what games will be there, we just know it's on June 12th. But what are our expectations of gameplay for Far Cry 6? I'm guessing it's most likely just gonna be a demo of the main story, but we are talking also about what are the possibilities of them teasing the multiplayer component of the game. My guess is it could be a 50% chance they will do a little reveal or confirmation of when to expect a reveal of the multiplayer later on. But we are also talking about, will it just be called Far Cry 6 Multiplayer, or Far Cry Online, or Far Cry Arcade 2, the sequel to Far Cry 5's Arcade? And this video is about, will we see the map editor come back to Far Cry 6, but was renamed to Arcade Editor in Far Cry 5. The map editor is a staple of the Far Cry franchise, and it goes all the way back to one of the very old Far Cry games, going back to the early 2000s. The Far Cry franchise started all the way back in 2004, so we are creeping up on the 20th anniversary of the franchise in just a few years from now. But Far Cry 1 in 2004 did not feature the map editor. I believe the first Far Cry to feature a map editor was Far Cry Instincts and Far Cry Instincts Predator, and onwards from Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry 5 all featured map editors, except for Far Cry Primal and Far Cry New Dawn. So I think it would be safe to say Far Cry 6 should have a Far Cry map editor, or if it's called Far Cry Arcade 2, should be called Far Cry Arcade Editor 2.0. It just begs the question, why are we so skeptical that there may not be a Far Cry map editor in Far Cry 6? Well, because last year when Far Cry 6 was announced, people were afraid that there was no announcement of the Far Cry 6 map editor. Well, with the Far Cry franchise's track record, they announce campaign-related stuff first, then later on they reveal more about multiplayer and map editor-related things closer to release. So I'm just gonna say that the Far Cry 6's map editor and multiplayer will be in there at a 70 to 80% chance. And since Far Cry 6 isn't a spin-off, it's a main title with the number 6, and all the main numbered Far Crys all featured multiplayer and map editors. Also, just wanna say, if Far Cry 6's multiplayer component is gonna be called Far Cry Arcade 2, then that would most likely mean a lot more assets from other Ubisoft games as well, just like how Far Cry 5's Arcade 1 had all these assets from other games. We could expect to see assets from, of course, older Far Cry games, and maybe even Watch Dogs Legion, or Watch Dogs 1 and 2, and possibly Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and just the many older Assassin's Creed games. We could even see them add more assets to the game over time as post-launch from different Ubisoft games, and just keep at massive post-launch plans to keep Far Cry 6's multiplayer component alive. But they would most likely put Watch Dogs Legion's assets in since Far Cry 6's dev team is Ubisoft Toronto, and that's if they are willing to do the other Ubisoft games assets in the map editor. Well, that's all I had to say for today, Far Cry fans. Make sure you are subscribed for more Far Cry related content, and if you're also a Watch Dogs fan and want to help support that franchise, be sure to be a new subscriber and like the video and ding that bell icon really hard so you will never miss any interesting upload. ZombfectedGaming 349 over and out.